Hi there, it's Sandy Freshie back with another video in our series on human design and emotions. Today's video is for those of you who are emotionally undefined, meaning that you have this triangle on the right hand side of your chart, white or not colored in. And the topic is why you may feel emotional when you're unemotional. A lot of people come to me after researching their chart or maybe getting an introduction to their human design blueprint, and they've been told that they're not emotional. And as we talk, they experience a lot of emotion. And I'm not emotional as well. I have an undefined emotional solar plexus. So I know mechanically it's likely not coming from me. So what I've observed, or what I want to share with you today, is what I've observed and where these emotions could be coming from. Now, one of the things that I do tell my clients who are emotionally undefined is if you feel a spike in emotions, if you feel a surge in emotions, then it's probably not yours. Your strategy at that point, not your human design strategy, but your strategy for managing your emotions in that moment, is to look around and see who else is in the room. And this is a very basic way of getting familiar with or building the foundation for managing these emotions that are coming to you. Because remember, when you have an undefined emotional solar plexus, you're bringing in energy from your environment, from other people, and you're amplifying it. So there are two ways that this energy can come to you. So I want to talk with you about that for a few moments, just to kind of refine your understanding of the mechanics of your undefined solar plexus. And then I want to just talk to you about another reason why you may feel these surges in emotions even when no one else is in the room. So half the people that you're going to meet are going to have a defined emotional solar plexus. So half the people you're riding in the waves or the sea of emotions that half the people you deal with are naturally emoting or naturally radiating out into the environment. So that can either come from their definition in their center, or it can come, even if they don't have a defined emotional solar plexus, it can come from another gate that meets your gate and forms an electromagnetic connection. So when two gates, and if you can see the numbers here, trust me on this, this is the gate 19. When the gate 19 meets the gate 40, I'm sorry, this is the gate 49, and when the gate 19, someone with the gate 19 comes and has coffee with your 49, if this were your chart, then it would feel as though both of you, when you're together, have this emotional wave that you're riding in this sea of emotions. So that's one way that you could possibly feel that surge of emotion. Even when someone else comes, you have coffee or you're with someone who doesn't have emotional energy like you. Or maybe they do and they just happen to have this gate or another gate that forms that electromagnetic. Two gates coming together make an electromagnetic connection, which then defines the center. It doesn't mean that you have that center defined in your chart. It means that you're experiencing and processing the energy through that energy of that type through that center. So in this case, you're processing emotional energy through that center. The other way, speaking of the gates here, is that you can feel as though you have emotional energy. And this can be when you're not around anyone, but it's the same mechanical dynamics, is when the one of the planets in the human design mandala, in the wheel of astrology, moves into one of the gates for a period of time that would actually form this electromagnetic that would make it feel as though you have emotional energy. So if you're feeling emotions, doesn't seem to be going away, maybe it lasts a week, maybe it lasts a little longer, maybe you're having some kind of an up and down in emotion that isn't normally what you experience, and that you haven't been around anybody, it could be a transit coming through. Now, there's a third reason why you may feel emotional when you're unemotional, and that has to do with the deconditioning process. So the deconditioning process, as we talk about it in human design, has to do with when you begin to align with who you really are, when you begin to align with what's colored in and consistent about the way that you're designed. Usually that happens when you're following your human design experiment by aligning with your strategy and authority, by following your strategy and your decision-making authority. So what happens over time as you begin to experiment, as you begin to try on strategy and authority, as you begin to really go into understanding who you are, who you're designed to be through your definition, you start to let go at a cellular level of what you've taken in that has kept you from being who you are. So we can call that a healing crisis, or a series of healing crises, or a healing process. We can call that emotional release. We can call that just letting go. But what happens is that energy has to come up, and that awareness usually comes up that has emotion attached to it. And go back and look at the first video in this series if you want to understand what I'm talking about here. But basically we talked about how emotions don't have meaning unless you have a meaning attached to it. So that's what I'm talking about here. So it comes up to be dealt with, to be seen, and then to be released. So if you're feeling these surges in emotions, when you start to tune into and become aware of when these surges of emotion come through you, number one, look around you, see who's in your environment, and then move out of that environment so you can come back to yourself. If you've been alone, or that doesn't seem to be working for you in terms of managing emotions, it could be that you're riding through a transit. And that's actually something where if you really want to look at transits, that's a more advanced kind of an understanding of looking at your chart. So I don't encourage you to go down that rabbit hole until you have a good understanding of how you operate. And that's to fine-tune your understanding of your conditioning and move forward. But just recognize that it could be a transit that's coming through. And if you are so inclined, or if you are more advanced and you want to identify those transits, it can tell you a lot about how you may be reacting, so that in a way that is not true to who you are. So that's number two. And then if there are no transits around, it could just be that you need to just stop, heal, retune your energy, reorient to your chart, and allow yourself to be in a place where you can just relax and let go of what's coming up. So I just want to let you know I have services to cover all of that. If you want to go to my website, sandyfreshy.com, we can look at your chart, we can do energy alignments, and also this Sunday, today is December 19th, 2018. This coming Sunday, we have our upcoming energy alignment. So if you're having some of these emotional things come up, it may be a good time to come and just check that out as well. And I'm going to put that up next as an announcement for our Sunday Energy Alignment group. And don't forget to subscribe and share this video if you find it to be very helpful for you. Until the next time, hopefully we'll see you Sunday on the live stream. And if not, until the next time, be well.